Good morning, NFTBERLIN. Today I want to talk about my project, Angry Dynomites Lab, the world's first massive co-op multiplayer game on the blockchain. So first I want to give a quick background about who I am and how the idea sparked for such a game. So I'm one of the co-founders of Colibri Games and BLN Capital. Colibri Games is a mobile gaming studio also based here in Berlin. They developed Idle Miner Tycoon, which got over 150 million downloads and was acquired by Ubisoft like 2 years ago. And then we as founders decided to use the money we got from the exit to build up an investment firm where we give back to the startup community that supported us and invest in great projects and founders. Also, of course, in Web3 companies as well. So coming from a Web2 gaming background, I saw a lot of problems with Web3 gaming. So once I exited Colibri Games, so we left last year in May, I had some time, and of course I went down the crypto rabbit hole during the time like everything popped and was rising, and so I went down there as well. I created a lot of passion for the technology, but also for the communities themselves. And of course I played some games. I played Axie Infinity, DeFi Kingdom, Splinterlands, all of these new games that were popping up. And I felt like they were having really cool new innovations. Like they are really using the blockchain technology, the ownership part, and so on and so forth. But they also didn't really catch me. So I was like playing them for a few hours and then basically decided, okay, it's not fun. I don't want to continue playing that game anymore. And I think that's a problem which already is included in the term play to earn, or some call it even GameFi. It's not about having fun, it's more about like making money with it. And I think that was one of the problems I saw. Another one was like that at the same time they don't have like very sustainable game economies. So they are kind of giving out a lot of tokens, NFTs, coins, but there's not a lot of ways on how people can actually burn them or destroy them again. So there's a lot of more supply coming in. And of course, as long as new players are coming in and buying this new supply, the game economy will be stable. But as soon as like the new people are not coming in anymore, basically there will be an oversupply and the game economy just gets destroyed. And I think this is mostly because of the reason that there are not good burning mechanisms for most of the games. There were also like big hurdles for me to start playing the game. So it was like I needed to buy very expensive NFTs first before I can actually test the game. So back then, like if you wanted to play Axie Infinity, you needed to spend around $1,000 just to start playing a game where you don't know if it's fun or not. And I think like it also took me a lot of time to set it up, and there were big hurdles for me. Even though I'm a more technical person, I needed like hours in order just to start playing a game. And I think this was also like a very big problem. And last but not least, I think like they are not fully utilizing the blockchain platform. So we have so many new opportunities, decentralization, ownership, but the games are still kind of creating their walled garden, their kind of own ecosystem, closed, not so much interaction with other games, for example. Although this is very easily possible now, because like everything is on the blockchain, it's not kind of guarded by the game project founders, so everyone who is kind of owning this asset can use them maybe for other things as well. So I saw a lot of opportunities in the Web3 gaming market, and I've put this number here. Anyone knows what this number means? So that's like the total gaming market in Web2. So actually people are spending $200 billion a year just to have fun. And that's a very big opportunity for Web3. So instead of just focusing on financial incentives and giving people like the way to earn money, there's even a way bigger opportunity to onboard people to Web3 gaming by creating fun games. And that's something I want to do. Also, like I think the community part is the biggest asset in Web3. So it's super energetic. People are writing on Discords 24/7. They are supporting each other, and so on and so forth. And why not use this great community in a game where they can work together, work on common goals, and play together? And the ownership and decentralization part, which I meant earlier, was like I want to create an open game where I also integrate assets from other games or NFT projects and so on and so forth in order to really utilize this great technology we are having. So that's why I assembled a world-class team. So we have like one great artist with a gaming background who've drawn all these crazy images, and we have like two developers from very big tech firms, and we also have two people who help us with community building and social media. So basically we want to create this massive co-op multiplayer experience on the blockchain. And I want to explain this now, what it is exactly, and I want to start with a quick story about what the angry Dynomites are. So there's actually a big asteroid crashing down on Earth and destroying or devastating the world. So the human race is wiped out and nothing is living anymore. But once the asteroid struck Earth, the TNT storage facility exploded and an ancient cave was unlocked where dinos are reborn and basically repopulating the Earth. Because everything is destroyed and dinos are not so super smart, and they are clumsy, they don't have like very big brains, actually they have very tiny ones, they need help, and that's where you as players come in. So here are some of the dinos. Dinos can be minted as NFTs, and each of the dinos have like a certain trait, which is an element. There are fire dinos, water dinos, earth, and air, and they are basically producing a corresponding token to it. So a fire dino produces fire tokens, a water dino water tokens, and so on and so forth. These tokens are ERC20 tokens, which can be transferred to your wallet, and you can use them however you like. You can trade them against other tokens, you can trade them against other elements, you can basically exchange them, or you can keep them in the game and play with them. And the whole gameplay is about like merging the tokens and creating like kind of a production empire where you can basically use tokens as a source in order to create new tokens. So here you can see as an example that the fire dino produces fire tokens. They basically can then get transformed into energy tokens, and in the end they're building up some special objects which we call masterpieces, which require a lot of these resources. Actually so many resources that one single player can't build up these special objects on their own, so they need to work together. So here you can see like that there are multiple ways on how to build up the resources, and in the end like all the resources should kind of be put in the masterpiece, and once the masterpiece is completed there will be a raffle between all the players to win this masterpiece as an NFT, which then kind of boosts your in-game production again. So the dinos maybe produce more tokens, or your production lines are more efficient, and so on and so forth. And that's basically the core game loop. So what makes us now unique? So we want to create fun games for everyone. So there's a lot of like people who like kind of these tycoon games where you build up things, build up your empire, optimize it, and so on and so forth. And that's where the fun comes in. And we want to create it for everyone. So with our design of the game, you don't actually need the dinos as NFTs in order to start playing the game. You can also acquire some of the tokens first and merge them together into other tokens, and then kind of slowly build up your production empire over time. And these tokens are cost way less than probably one of these NFTs. We want to create a sustainable game economy, meaning that we have like a lot of things also in the economy. So by actually merging together the tokens or transforming them into new tokens, the source tokens get burned. So we as we as the creators, we don't get the tokens, they actually get burned and destroyed and they are off the market. Also with the masterpieces, a lot of the resources get destroyed every time one masterpiece is completed. And therefore we can make sure that we have of course we have a new supply with the dinos, but also we have a lot of things where the tokens can actually get destroyed. We also want to use this openness of the blockchain platform in order to integrate tokens from other NFT projects. So just recently we entered a partnership with the Cyberkongs. Maybe some of you know them, they are a big NFT project as well. They have also a token, banana token, and we want to use that token in the game in order to build up new resources as well. So for example, we can use a banana token with a fire token from our game in order to build up a banana pie token, which is then needed to build up a masterpiece. And we want to unite this energetic Web3 community in the game. So people need to work together in order to achieve these common goals and help basically the dinos to survive. And we are an experienced gaming founding team and have a lot of passion for Web3, and that's what we want to bring to Web3. So the mint will be, so we will have 4 collections. For each element, we will have 1 collection. We start with the fire Dynomites, and the mint will actually take place on Tuesday next week. So it will be a very tiny collection, the first one, the fire ones. The other ones will have a bigger collection size, but the first ones are the Genesis, they are very rare, and we want to make sure that we have a good small community of early believers, and yeah, that's why there's such a small collection size. And we have a price of 0.07 ETH. It will be live on Ethereum. The NFTs live on Ethereum. The game we will probably put on Polygon because of the gas fees. And we still have some whitelist spots available. I have a link to our Discord server later. If you want to participate and join, just join our Discord and maybe you have the chance to get some more whitelist spots. So we are here with Angry Dynomites Lab on a bigger mission. So if you take a look back in history, PC games were the first ones, or the first applications that kind of got the mass market to computers. So there was Pong, and a lot of people were actually later buying PCs because they wanted to play games. There are even consoles then created which are only there for playing games. And the same happened with smartphones. There was a new technology, and the first apps which got millions of downloads were actually games. And now with Web3, I think games can be also a catalyst to bring the mass market to Web3. And in order to do that, we need to create these fun games and not just having projects that don't have value or only financial incentives. We need to create fun games in order to make that happen, and that's what we want to be part of. So join us and build a new type of Web3 gaming. Thank you a lot for listening in. Join our Discord. As I said, Mint will be next week. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them.
Thank you. So it's a very interesting concept. It reminds me of the, I forget the name, but the one old game where you Doodle God, yeah, where you connect different elements to create new elements.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that the elements will be tokens, so not NFTs, but rather fungible on-chain tokens.
Yeah.
Does that mean that you will have to create new tokens every time you want to add more content and new elements to the game? Because I can see this kind of spiraling out of control, because even initially you have 4 utility tokens, which is more than I don't know if there's a lot of Web3 games that utilize more than 1 or 2 utility tokens, and now you, from what I understand, you want to exponentially add more and more utility tokens. How do you see this working out? Do you see any challenges as opposed to just using them as off-chain currency?
Yeah, sure. So our idea is of course we are probably one of the first ones who have that many utility tokens, and we'll need to find out what are the challenges, but I'm sure we are able to solve some of them. I think one thing is that the prices for the tokens will be quite volatile, since there's a lot of them with probably small supplies, but it's actually one thing we actually want to have, because that's what makes the game fun. Because then you can find out what are maybe good production lines right now, because of maybe some coins, some tokens are super cheap right now and others are super expensive. So people can try to optimize their production lines in order to find out what's actually the best way. And this is actually something which other projects see as a problem, this price volatility, but we actually want to have this. And that's, basically, it can't be seen as a value store, but also, as I said, we don't want to put a financial incentive on top of the fun part. So that's why I think like the other projects are not so much using that many tokens, because they actually want to have like a good price action, but we are not really aiming for that. We are just more thinking like, okay, we want to have like in-game currencies that live on the blockchain, and you can trade them, although the price is probably quite volatile.
If nobody else has anything I can ask, because it's very interesting, because you said that people will have to work together to build these what was it?
Masterpieces, yeah.
Yeah, masterpieces, sorry, I was thinking of monuments. But yeah, masterpieces, and then that will be awarded via raffle, right? So can you elaborate more on how this raffle will work? For example, what is my incentive to contribute more to like a masterpiece beyond just like a little tiny contribution, right? That also enters me in the raffle, I assume.
Yeah, right. So of course, like, we want to incentivize people who spend a lot of the tokens. So the chances of winning masterpieces will increase the more tokens you spend. So this makes it possible, or incentivize people to spend more tokens because they have a higher chance in winning them. We still need to see if the chances increase linearly. So if you spend 10 times more tokens, your chances are 10 times more higher. We are more thinking about like moving it more asymptotically, so that also like people who are not having so much tokens, that they even have like little higher chances with less tokens than people who are whales and kind of can spend a lot of them.
Thank you for the talk. I have not seen everything. I just joined a bit too late. Sorry for that. Maybe you answered the question already I have. So, in terms of audience, the game is meant for normies or crypto natives. Like, what is the split, and how do you see the onboarding, and how did you actually come to the mint price of 0.07 ETH?
Yeah. So we want to focus first on the crypto natives, because they know how most of the things work. It's easier to onboard them. We can also, like with partnerships, like with the CyberKongs, we can get these people already to our game. They have already some of these assets and so on and so forth. And I think it just makes it easier for us to prove that such a game is actually working. And then at a later stage, so we are seeing this only as like a minimum viable product, what I just pitched. We want to create a bigger economy and game out of it. And then we will also think about like how can we make it way easier also for people who are not crypto natives to join our game and kind of start playing without maybe needing any crypto assets in the beginning. So that was the first question. I think, sorry, I missed the second question.
Hi, where are you going on mainnet and not Polygon or something?
Yeah, so we were having a lot of discussions on that. So we first were planning to go on Polygon for everything, but we got like a lot of backslash from the community, since a lot of people are not trusting Polygon yet. There were like a lot of scam projects in the past, and even like some people said like, okay, if you go on Polygon, we are not gonna do collaborations with you and so on and so forth. So we tried to find a way on how we can still kind of get this trusted more Ethereum community, or like the community from Ethereum who trusts Ethereum, but at the same time have low gas fees with Polygon. So we decided to do the mint on Ethereum and put the game logic more on Polygon, and that's the whole idea behind it. Also, I think in the future Polygon will hopefully gain more trust, as I think like this is needed for kind of more games to kind of be established. But I think it takes a little bit more time. Although there are still already a lot of projects, like also the CyberKongs or Sandbox, moving to Polygon. I I think it just needs a little bit more time till the community really sees this as also like a fully trusted source. Cool. Then thank you very much for listening, and hope I see some of you on Discord.